Hi there, Bonnie Power here. Today I want to talk to you about what type of content that you should be creating on LinkedIn to help you stand out above the competition that you've got and to really start to create the platform for you to be seen as a industry leader. And it's all through the content that you actually create, because sometimes, when you get referred or recommended, people are going to check you out online, and they will have a look at the content that you create, and they will make a judgment call based on that. So what I'd love you to do over the next 12 months is actually roll out a content plan that is actually based on the framework that I'm about to share with you today. So this framework came because I'm actually studying about how to write a book, and this content came from reading a few books on how to write a book. And what they talk about is how to get all of the content, all of the expertise that's in your head. Like, there's 100 different things that you know about and you're really good in those areas. How to synthesize the knowledge into a framework that's going to be really easy once you communicate that with your prospective client for them to understand. Because if your prospective clients understand the key messages, your key philosophies about what you're all about and what you promote as best practice within your niche, they will clearly see that you know what you're talking about. They'll really appreciate the fact that you are so clear, and then they will become really loyal to you and trust that you'll be able to actually deliver the services in order to help them get from wherever they are now to where they want to be. So there's lots of technology to use for this, and the very first step is to do a mind map. And if you Google, mind mapping software, there's some really good ones out there. I tend to get very distracted when I'm sitting on a PC because there's lots of things happening. I can go onto my emails, I can go onto social media. So I actually like to turn the computer off and go and sit in on my lounge or somewhere really nice that I've got a nice view, and then I start to really brainstorm. And I get big pieces of paper, so I go down to Kmart or Officeworks and get the big sheets of paper, and I get lots of texters, and I start to create a mind map. And I'll show you one of these in a minute. The mind map is it's trying to synthesize all of the information that you know. So what I'll do, I'll share with you the one that I've prepared earlier as an example. I don't know if you can see this, but I'll put this on the screen. This is like a mind map that I did, where if this is like your central topic, like the topic that you generally want to be known for. What you then do is you maybe divide it into sort of maybe 3 or 4 or 5, maybe up to even 7 subtopics that you could categorize all of the information that you know, and you could file them under these maybe 5, just for the ease of for this exercise, we'll just say there's 5 key topics, 5 key things, and these could be like the philosophies, or they could be the main areas. And I'll put this down now so I can keep talking. I'll bring it up. I'll share this. I'll take a photo of this and upload it. But you really want to break that down, and then with each of the subtopics, you talk about why it's important. You talk about what it actually is. You talk about the overview of what that topic's all about. Like, so you give a little bit of information. And then once you've done that, then you really branch out and you do the same again. So then you could have say the five principles behind that topic, and then you talk about what is it, why it's important, the questions. Maybe you'll say there's questions to assess current competency. And then we've got the other one where we've got subtopic, there's 2, 3, 4, and 5. So you could have like the 4 levers to that topic, or you could be having like the 7 skill sets, and you follow that order of, what it is, why it's important, and elaborate on each point. And you can just keep doing that really if you can see the pattern to this. You could have like the 5 criteria for that particular point, or the step 1 to step 2 to step 3 to step 4 to step 5. So that's a really easy way, and that means that each one of these you can actually create a blog post on that as a topic, and you can talk about that, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to give an overview, and then you can talk more about these in each subsequent post. So you would probably have around 52 articles at the end of the day. Like, that would make it super easy for you to create a framework for your content, and each piece will have a call to action to invite them into like a low cost offer where they can, for maybe 20% of your core offer, they can actually take they can hire you for a small service just to get it, dip their toe in the water and learn about how you work and develop that trust. So once you've actually created that mind map, you've got your content, the next step after that is start thinking about what types of content, what type of media you want to create. Now, I love doing the video. It's a great way to build rapport with the target market. It's fast and quick for me to do because I prefer doing this over writing, an $800 word blog post. But if you find your strength and you do what you like to do. So if you like, talking, maybe you do a podcast, or you use your phone and you dictate it and then you send it off to get transcribed. The best thing about video and also creating audio is that I can then, for example, with this video, if I want to make a blog post out of it, I could then send it to a writer, and for maybe $100, I could then have a really good quality blog post created. The content in the blog post will also use my voice, because a good writer will be able to pick up on the type of personality that I have and actually replicate the voice in the blog post so it looks congruent with the brand. So it's very, very good. Now, once that blog post has been written, then you can perhaps pull out 2 or 3 or 4 or maybe even 10 top tips, top takeaways from the content, and then you can get a graphic designer to then create an inspirational type of quote, and these are working really, really well across all social media, so you can really leverage all of this content you're doing everywhere. You don't just have to put this on LinkedIn. You put on your LinkedIn, your websites, you put in your email marketing system, you put it into your Facebook. You use this over and over and over again, of course. But with the actual quotes and maybe have a tip of the week, and you can really do that. So you can then get somebody else to do those posts. Or if you've got an assistant, they can just jump onto Canva and create some really awesome, highly branded, in your brand, in your colours, inspirational quotes or tip of the week, pulling out from that content that you've created. So that's a very, very good way. So once you've got that framework in place, you've got your content for the next year. So you have your thought leadership pieces. You might load one up every week, or one up every fortnight, or one up every month if you want to go really slow. The more you do, the higher your presence will be on LinkedIn. LinkedIn's a place where your target market are on there. They're looking, they're observing. Usually takes about 3 to 4 months for them to warm up. Might take them a year to be ready to buy, but it's just such a leveraged activity. When you're sharing content that you want to be known for, you're really keeping lots and lots and lots of leads very warm. And then this whole content marketing then fits in really, really well with the proactive activities that you do with the messaging to the type of clients that you want to work with over the next 12 months, which is a different set of activities that we'll talk about in another video. So hope that's helped. If you've got any questions, please feel free to get in contact. www.perfectboom.com, and I'm Bonnie Power, and I hope this has been of value to you. Okay, thank you.